So today we are here shooting something slightly different, and you can see my staff cleaning the truck's head and the cabin. Okay, there is that. Make sure you clean properly, you know. Later we'll shoot detail, you know.
Yes, boss.
Hi, good morning, guys. Guess where I am? Somewhere hidden. Yeah, actually it's somewhere around in KL still. But this morning we are here because we would like to actually review something very different. It's not something very fast, but it's something that is staple in our economy. All right. So today we are here actually to check out the FUSO Canter. Yes, that's right. So yep, myself and my partner, okay, we are actually from the commercial vehicle industry. So we are, I do consider ourselves as pretty well versed with the truck industry. So what we're gonna do today is just gonna walk through the product, and then of course let's have a look at some of the specialties of this vehicle. So this is the FUSO Canter. If you see here, this is actually the model name, the FE85PG. So this model is actually the longer wheelbase of its own brother. Okay, there is another model of shorter wheelbase. So this is what they call as a wide cabin truck. So I pretty like the looks of it. It looks rather modern, and it has a very nice design, especially looking at the headlamps and how it actually integrates into the bumper over here. So look at that. Yeah, I really like that. Of course, what we are having here is the 7th generation of Canter. In the worldwide right now, we are running at the 8th generation of Canter. So in Malaysia, we have this as the 7th generation here. So I do not know when we will have the 8th generation, but hopefully soon we will be able to see in the Malaysian shores. You see the name FUSO, okay, FUSO over here, right? Actually, a lot of people still know this as the Mitsubishi lorries, okay, because this is, in fact, if you notice the logo, right, the logo over there, it is Mitsubishi lorry back then, all right, just that they actually have been sold out, okay, and the current company who owns the brand is actually a brand called Daimler. Those who are more familiar with the name Daimler, okay, is that they are actually also the parent company for Mercedes-Benz. Yes, so actually the Mitsubishi FUSO lorries is actually under one of the largest truck manufacturing group, which is the Daimler Group. So this is the look of the chassis. Okay. Now, one thing interesting to note for this chassis is that there is no rivet on top. So I was informed that this will help in terms of the load taking of the chassis, and as well as it will help them to build the body faster and easier. Now, if you do not know, in the commercial vehicle industry, the body is actually built separately. So meaning to say your dealers, you know, selling the example the Mitsubishi FUSO lorries, they are just selling it as like this. There won't be any body, you know, because the bodies are so unique, so different in terms of requirement. So usually they will leave that to the specialists. Oh, look at this. There's actually even a reverse sensor on this lorry, which I believe is something very unique, and I'm sure this will help the drivers navigate, especially when moving in some place that is having some obstacle. That will help very much, definitely. Now also on these, I've noted they actually have a fog lamp here. Now, contrary to, you know, everybody's belief, this is actually not your third brake lamp. So it's actually the rear fog lamp. This is actually a requirement by the government as part of the agreement for us to follow the European standards of safety. Okay, along the chassis, there's also, as well as multiple holes. All right, so that, you know, in case the bodybuilders require to mount any other equipments apart from whatever that's already on here, or if they need to shift, example, maybe the batteries over slightly to the rear to accommodate some unique requirements or unique equipments, they can do so without needing to actually modify the chassis, which is actually something that is not good, because usually the materials used for this kind of chassis is high tensile steel, so it will actually have been heat treated in some way or another. So any modification on the chassis itself will cause changes in property and even maybe the load taking ability of the chassis itself, right? So yes, as all usual commercial vehicle the trucks and lorries and all that, so I believe this vehicle is running on 24 volts. Okay, so this Mitsubishi FUSO Canter is actually powered by a 4D34 engine, so churning up to 136 horsepower and up to 370 Newton meters of torque, right? And it's actually mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. Maybe there are a few brands out there that is running on an automated transmission, but Malaysia generally, we are not yet at the level where we actually use a lot of automated transmission. Let's just take a step back again to have a look at the vehicle itself. Pretty handsome, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below if you like how these trucks look. And then there is also the nozzle. If you notice, there is actually no nozzle running along the top part here, because the nozzle for your windscreen washer is actually located right at where the wiper joint is, or the wiper connection is. If you can see over here, yes, all right. So this actually helps when it comes to washing your windscreen, because it uses less water and there is no spurt onto your windscreen. So this is very good in terms of safety, because now the drivers don't have a splash of water in front of them every time they need to wash their windscreen. And one unique thing about this FUSO Canter is that I noticed that actually they have the you can actually check the level of your brake fluid over here. So let's make it very simple for the drivers in their daily check when they actually need to check. And actually, to top it up, they just need to open up this. Oops, okay, so there it is. There's no need to open up your cabin, no flaps, nothing. It's just here, simple as that. And I think the cabin is actually rather dashing in the two-tone. Even the door itself has a two-tone color, so it makes it look very similar to your passenger car. And just now I even have a chance of driving it in slightly darker daylight, and this particular instrument cluster actually light up really nice. I really like the looks of it. It doesn't make you feel like you're actually in a lorry, so yep. And of course, this vehicle actually come with this is what we call engine RPM governor. Okay, so where you can actually adjust your engine RPM to go higher or lower when you're actually idling. So usually this is used by the equipment at the rear body here. So if they need it to run some certain pumps or whatever at a higher power output. So one way is what my friend tell me: put a brake on this and rev our engine. Or the other way is to have this thing here, and what you do is that you actually just turn up and down to increase or decrease the RPM. Right, so, and here we have some center console for the driver if they need to store some small equipment, maybe a small cup here, right? I don't recommend hot coffees, right? Because these vehicles are rather bumpy. So with the hot coffee, I'm not sure what will happen over here. Right, and the seats actually come with a PU, so polyurethane or what they call it. So this is something we don't see on your usual passenger cars, because these are meant for heavy duty application. So it's easier if the drivers need to clean the vehicle, okay, and at the same time it's not terribly uncomfortable. Let's see what's at the back. Yep, there's a document storage pocket over here. So if in case they need to store any documents, there's one spot to put there. So just some fun fact for you if you want to know. The word FUSO actually means Japan. Yeah, in the apparently they got this from the ancient Chinese words or ancient Chinese language itself, where it's Fusang, right? They got it derived from that. So FUSO actually means Japan. And the word Mitsubishi, okay, actually is formed from the conglomerates that is owned by two major families, and so happened that their family crest, you know, in Japan they have a lot of these they call that like the family, big family, where they actually own a crest. So it's formed by two different families, and the Mitsu actually means tree because it's a common theme for these two families crest, where they have three symbols to sort of like label the crest and things like that. And the Bishi actually means water chestnut, because water chestnut is actually one of the crest symbol of one of the founding families. So that's actually how they actually got the name Mitsu and Bishi. So Mitsubishi. So Mitsubishi FUSO. Yeah, so that's actually the history, a little bit of history on Mitsubishi FUSO. So the Canter actually started in 1963, right? And they have been around the world now for many years now. I believe it's about 56 years. Yeah, that's really long. Okay, it's one of the best-selling light-duty lorries around the world. It's being sold in Europe, in Indonesia, right, and Malaysia, of course, Thailand, and where else they have? I think maybe Mexico, Brazil, and things like that. Yep. So worldwide, yeah, I think I believe it's around 160 countries, yeah, where actually Canter is being sold right now. Yes. Okay, now let's get the engine started. Let's hear the engine sound. So this is something very different from your usual sports car. So let's hear how sporty is this now. There you go, sporty sounding, isn't it? All right. Now guys, I just want to show you something very special here. If you can see this logo over here, okay, you will recognize it's actually the ABS. Yes, this lorry actually comes equipped with ABS, just like your passenger car. The Mitsubishi Group, who used to own the brand, is one of the largest conglomerate. So they own industries ranging from banks. Actually, they have the largest bank in Japan, right, and all the way to, you know, mining. They even have what else? Marine engines, and also, of course, automotive. They have heavy industry like steel manufacturing. So it's a huge conglomerate. But of course, they span many different you know, divisions and all that. So the Mitsubishi FUSO actually used to come under Mitsubishi Motor Corporation, where they have actually the passenger car segment as well as the commercial segment. Commercial meaning to say they have lorries, they have buses and all that. So right now, the Mitsubishi FUSO brand itself, or we just call it FUSO, has now split from the Mitsubishi Motor Corporation. And so now they're actually under the ownership of Daimler, right, like I mentioned earlier. So it is actually renamed into Mitsubishi FUSO Truck and Bus Corporation. So that is the company that currently owns the brand name FUSO. Okay. Some stranger. And let's look over at the passenger side. Yeah, and so over here we have the windscreen washer fluid refill and also the level checking. Again, the whole principle of this vehicle is to showcase that is easy for make it easy for the driver if they need to do their daily checks. Okay, let's climb onto it and let's have a look at the interior. Now I haven't taken off any of these plastics because this vehicle is still new, so I haven't even delivered for the rear body building, so we're gonna leave it as that. So we don't want to keep the vehicle as clean as possible. So let's see what's over here. Okay, so the first aid kit over here, right, and some storage compartment here. All right, very interesting. And let's see what other things here we have. Foldable cup storage. I kind of like this because it keeps your dashboard clean when you don't need it, and if you need it, you know, just take it out. Very good. Okay, and I believe this is okay, this maybe where the fuse is. Okay, and we have some document storage folder over there, and some storage, some further storage over here. This maybe you can use it for your touch and go cards or whatsoever. Okay, and the position of the shift lever is rather interesting compared to your conventional cars or even some of the lorries over there in the market. Usually it's positioned right here. Now this is rather interesting. Let me show you what actually it helps in terms, I mean, being positioned over here. Right, just now I mentioned that you know, this being here, there's one unique advantage about it. Look at this, easy for me to move over. So I was told that actually that if, let's say, the drivers usually when they stop at the roadside, there's a lot of traffic here, you are unable to open this door, what the drivers do, as easy as that. How fantastic is that? Alright, so we are done with the interior. Now let's look at other features that we have on this truck. It comes with a window visor here. Now a lot of drivers in Malaysia, they may you know, may like to smoke or whatever, or sometimes they take a nap in the vehicle. So with the window visor, you can just wind down the window over here a little bit, and the water doesn't come in. With our rainy weather nowadays, I'm sure the drivers will appreciate this very, very much. And oh, one more thing I left out over here. This vehicle actually comes with the kangaroo bar. Of course, kangaroo bar does not originate in here because we do not have kangaroos. Okay, this actually started in Australia, but somehow the people here really love kangaroo bars on their lorries. Okay, for those who don't know, I was informed that actually the FUSO Canter comes with your daytime running light. Okay, just like your vehicles. So what happened is that when the engine is started and the handbrake is down, then you have daytime running light on this vehicle. Pretty impressive. Alright, the fuel tank on this vehicle, it's not petrol, it's diesel, so it's 100 liter. Comes with a lockable cap. This actually here is your parking brake, for those who do not know. And they even have the something like a catcher or a bracket for your propeller shaft. Now this is actually something very good because I remember a few years back there's actually an incident, you know, happening on maybe the federal highway or something, where actually one of these propeller shafts from a lorry falling off from the bracket here, or maybe the bracket there, and what happened is that the whole thing flew off from the lorries and across to the other side and actually killed somebody. So having this, you know, actually helps in case anything like that happens. This is actually for safety purpose. In the passenger cars or maybe even your, you know, your sports car and everything, we don't talk about axle ratio, but in the commercial vehicle or maybe the lorries, the axle ratio plays a very important role. Now when these lorries actually carry a very heavy load, so very important for them, the drivers especially, to feel the power. Otherwise it will feel the driver feels very frustrated at times. From what I understand, because the lorry seems to struggle to pull the load. So for FUSO, this Canter, all right, they actually use a high ratio differential. Okay, so as high as I say 6.166 ratio. So this is actually to help increase the feeling of power, or what we call as the torque. Okay, so even I actually spoke to one of the drivers last time, you know, and they say that changing to a FUSO actually helps in terms of the power feeling. So yeah, actually, so pretty impressive. All right, so this is the rear view of the lorry. All right, so this is what they call as a 4x2, or in the market some people call it actually a 6-wheeler. Yeah, so one good thing, if you notice from far away here, is this is actually the air intake. So you can see the location of the intake is located pretty high over here. So now if you are familiar with the commercial vehicle industry, there may be some people who use the canvas type of you know, rear body. So the canvas are usually pretty loose at the bottom, so if the intake is high up, there is no chance for the canvas to get stuck and to, you know, choke your engine of any good air. So, and also being high up, the air is actually cleaner, so the engine has a good air to breathe around when it needs to produce the power. That is actually the end for today. So if you like these, what we have actually explained to you on this FUSO Canter, do check them out at your local dealership. All right, and most important, okay, you need to click that subscribe button over here, okay, and make sure you do click on the bell notification so that you get alerted every time we have a new video. So we do videos weekly, you know, ranging from trucks, equipments for the commercial industry, and all the way to your exotic sports car, if we can find one or if you want to donate one, okay.